Jeff Shackelford and Ryan Weber.
Thank you, Aaron. After hearing everybody, I'm not offended at all that I was not your first choice to speak tonight. I'm actually filling in for Maria Myers, who deserves to be here and is really better looking and much more intelligent than I am. Maria, 10 years ago, had the foresight to realize that if you really want to build an entrepreneurial ecosystem that can sustain itself and take advantage of resources, you need a central repository of all those resources in a place where anyone can go, whether they're starting a digital business or in-home health care or daycare or any of those things. How do you help all entrepreneurs? And she kicked off something called KC Sourcelink 10 years ago. Today, that is an unbelievable advantage for this city, as they have over almost 250 resource partners scattered across 18 counties. So if there's anybody in the room that wants to start a business or has a business idea, first call is KC Sourcelink, because they've grown into such an asset for us. The other was, Aaron asked me if I could sub for Marie, and he made me swear I'd stick to 90 seconds. The over-under from Baxendale here is 500 that says I can't stay under 90 seconds. So I'm going to touch real quick. A couple of things you've heard tonight, and we'll continue to hear. It's about collaboration. We have I'm convinced all the resources to sustain what Mike talks about, continue to grow, take advantage of the Google Fiber and the other assets we have, but it's really about collaboration and how do we pull it together. The UMKC Innovation Center is one of those organizations that tries to work with everybody, tries to recognize gaps, tries to say if we have a gap in the ecosystem, how do we fill it? A couple of examples. We realized through the playbook, and if we want to be America's most entrepreneurial city, we need to get more out of our research entities, universities, so on and so forth. Maria and her team created a program that Jim Baxendale runs called Whiteboard to Boardroom, so we can get that research out of that, get it commercialized, because then we can raise money and hire people. I think to date, they've started 23 companies and raised over $12 million in funding for those companies, so those are jobs we're creating. Secondly, we realized early on, if you're a very early stage entrepreneur, where do you go? And you need some money for proof of concept. We had a gap in the ecosystem. So near and dear to my heart was Digital Sandbox. We kicked that off. And in those 30 months, we funded 55 projects for those companies. It's about $18 million in funding, and we've helped create 200 jobs to that. In the newest, we've created a program called Scale Up. So you've been in business 3 years. You may be doing about $500,000 in revenue, but you want to figure out how to get to 10 million. Come see the Scale Up people, because it's important that we keep sustaining the ones we have. And finally, through Maria's efforts, we've got a phenomenal capital. Where do you get funded in Kansas City? Where do we find more money? Where do we find more sources? Where do we find more avenues to help these people? Because it takes capital, it takes money for organizations like Digital Drive that are filling the gap. I can promise you what comes into the sandbox would not be here today if we didn't have the technology we have in place. And we have to capitalize and continue to grow on it. 90 seconds.
Hey everybody, my name is Ryan Weber. I'm president of an organization called KCnext. We serve as the technology council here in Kansas City. We're part of a group of technology councils across all of North America. There's about 60 total. But we're a membership-based group. We have about 140 member companies that fund our organization, many familiar faces around the room, and a board of about 20, chaired by Kevin McGinnis from Sprint and Pinside Media. And up until this point, KCnext was really basically a marketing organization. Our parent company, the Kansas City Area Development Council, is really the one that founded our organization and got us off the ground and where we are today. If it wasn't for Martin Minnie and his team, without the support of Bob Marcus and others, it really wouldn't have been possible. And a lot of what they do is attract new firms to the region, and we help specifically in regards to technology firms. And one of the key pieces that a tech firm asks for is they really want to know about workforce, and they want to know what kind of talent exists in your marketplace. And I can't tell you how important that is. In Kansas City, we have a workforce of about 40,000 technology professionals. There are about 3,500 technology firms in Kansas City. This is a region. The average salary is about $90,000. These are very well-paid jobs that require a certain skill set that either has to be learned or acquired, and where you can find that is difficult. But as an organization, I want to back up for a second, really focus on three main things. Number one being access. If you're involved with an organization like ours, you get access to companies, people, talent, and we have a big focus on policy as well at a state and federal level, and then back to workforce, which is the most important topic today. And as an industry, we have about 2,300 open jobs right now and about 620 firms hiring. So we don't just need hundreds of tech professionals, we need thousands, if not tens of thousands, to come over the years. Underneath workforce for us, there's really three more pillars. We either have to grow them ourselves. I know there's some educators around the room. If there's a program in Kansas City that can start producing a significant amount of talent, there is no end to the corporate support coming your way. I want to be very, very upfront and honest about that. And then also we need to attract them. So things like lifestyle, culture, and music are very important to attracting those young, talented people to Kansas City. And part of that attraction tool is being able to showcase the jobs that are here in Kansas City. And we'll have something next month to announce a way for us to be able to attract them more effectively. And believe it or not, technology can help us with that. So thanks again, Aaron, for the opportunity. Really appreciate the ability to speak to you guys tonight. Thank you.